Hello, I'm back. Hopefully you'll find me again. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I'm just going to try and find out. Hello. Hello, is there anybody there? Am I back or have I been binned off completely probably? No, my luck. Sorry, I'm just trying to find out what happened. Let's have a look. Hi Saskia, you're here, you found me. Yeah, I got binned off there for something. There'll be a reason. Let me see, live stream. Streams are interrupted when. Okay, so they've picked up. Hi Stuart, yeah, the video was stopped because they've sent me a message to say they detected some copy. I think I left it on too long, the daRonch video. Oh, which is a shame, but anyway. Or actually, it was probably not because of the YouTube. It was probably because that interview with Carol was from a documentary that was on Netflix. So it's probably Netflix that got the ump with me. That's annoying. Anyway, so I know not to play any more of Netflix then. Right, because I definitely want to show Caribbean's best friend talks about. Definitely want to show the family videos. Oh, look, people are finding me again. I hope they'll all come back. They'll all come back. They have to get the notification. But yeah, I think it was because that video where Carol was speaking. I know what will happen now is they'll send me an email and they'll say that I've got to delete that. I've got to, they edit it out if they, well, they'll have a look at it and then what they'll decide is I'm using somebody else's video, so I can either trim it out or I'll just get demonetized. But anyway. Oh, I'm not upset. It's happened before. It's not the first time it's happened. Just can't be sure with YouTube what they'll let you do and what they won't let you do, what they'll let you show, what they won't let you show. You just lie in the dark most of the time. But the most important thing for me, to be honest, that I want to show is his mum talking in court. So I've got to find it, though. That's the only thing. And what I'll do then is I'll put these two lives together in one video and release it as one video. But it's just really annoying. Okay. Now, let me go back. Yeah, they'll start coming back bit by bit. Hi, David. Yes, we're back now. I've offended YouTube yet again by showing somebody else's video. Well, I'm going to show another one again now, so we'll see what happens. Okay, now, because I want to show you his mum talking.
Still can't figure out what went wrong. In an interview with a Seattle television station yesterday, she expressed confusion at how...
Now, what we have to bear in mind is he... I think for about 13 years, he claimed he was innocent. And his mum believed him. But finally, when it was coming near to his execution date, then he started confessing then and thinking that he could give up more victims and that to try and escape the death penalty, which didn't work. He was finally executed. So he had to tell his mum, he had to tell his mum that yes, he had done these things. He had to tell the lady we were looking at before, Liz, his ex-girlfriend, because they had finished by then, because he'd started seeing somebody else while he was actually in prison, believe it or not. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So he had to then tell, if he was going to say to the police to plead for his life, he'd give up these victims, he had to admit that he'd actually done it. So he had to actually ring his mum and tell her, poor woman, all those 13 years that she'd stuck up for him, he was guilty.
How a fun-loving and caring son could turn into a ruthless killer.
There's nothing in his background that can tell us what triggered all of this. In fact, up until Saturday, I didn't believe any of it.
Louise Bundy was thousands of miles away from her son when he was executed this morning. She says it would have been too painful.
It's a 3-ring circus, if not a 10-ring circus. And we didn't feel the agony we would go through by going down there would compensate for a few minutes of talking to Ted through glass. And he also felt that way too.
Mrs. Bundy always believed her son was innocent, and when he confessed to the killings before his death, she was shocked.
We were angry for a while yesterday, even this morning, that he never confided in us. Of course, if he had, what would we have done then? Mm-hmm. You don't usually go around telling your mom that you've been doing these kinds of things. That I understand, but for 13 years, he's sworn up and down, backwards and forwards, that he was innocent. And then all of a sudden, we believed him, we wanted to believe him. He's still our son, no matter what he's done, and we love him very much.
So there you go. Still her son, which is true, of course. He is still her son. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Well, he said he found God, didn't he? He said and in the end he would have said anything because he was terrified. Apparently he was terrified. Hi everyone again. Sorry, I got binned off copyright as usual. There's always something. Shelley. Hi, Amethyst. Shelley's not a new member. She's been a member for 2 months. So it's a milestone. A milestone. We know that word, don't we? I hope you're all finding me again. Oh, yeah. Hit the likes again. What I'm going to have to do is try and put these 2 videos together. So, yes, he was electrocuted. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm not surprised his mum didn't go down there, because she could have gone down to see him before he was electrocuted. But it was, there were so many people outside. They were having parties and, it wouldn't have been nice, because at the end of the day, she is still his mother. For all the terrible things that he did, it wasn't her fault. So it wouldn't have been nice to see all those people celebrating your son dying. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Joe H. Hi, Jean. Hi again. Yeah, I feel really naughty when I get binned off YouTube. I always feel a little bit naughty that I've done, and it's never because I've done anything. Well, I'm still binned off Twitter. That's it. I don't even know what I did on Twitter. I don't agree with the death penalty because you know what? They suffer more if they're just stuck in prison for the rest of their lives. So, it always seems a bit barbaric, doesn't it, the death penalty? It's like 2 wrongs don't make a right, it's different. Like if it would have been my children that he would have murdered, my daughter, then you would feel, but that's not the death penalty, is it? That's just how but I think even then you have to forgive them. You have to, because you have to believe in, if you believe in more than just this world, which I do. Now, Ted Bundy will have gone on to the other world and he'll be, I don't know what happens in the next world. I don't know, but I do believe you pay for anything bad that you've done. I do believe that, and I believe that 100%. I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe he comes back as a victim next time, or who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what happens afterwards. But I'd like to think that people who, you know, do terrible things, and even small things, you know, because even in life you get karma, don't you? You know, so you have to, exactly, karma. You have to. You cannot. Hi everyone again. Gosh, so, you know, anyway, let's see if I can get binned off again. It'd be nice to get binned off for something really bad one time, because I think, God, I don't ever do anything really bad. When I got binned off Twitter, I'll tell you what, I'm still angry about that, because if I would have known that I was going to get thrown off Twitter, I would have gone and said exactly what I thought to a lot of people. Anyway, never mind. Now, so we've seen about Liz. That's what got us chucked off, because I think that was from some documentary or whatever, that probably a Netflix documentary that got flagged up. What I want to talk to you now about, just because I want to talk about all these women that he had this thrall over. So that was Liz, who was his longtime girlfriend before he went into prison. While he was in prison, he started seeing a woman called Carol. You know, it seems funny to say when, but he managed to get her pregnant while he was in prison as well. So that's another. How did that even happen? You know, but anyway, it did. When Carol would go in visiting him, somewhere along the line there was money passed to one of the police or whatever to turn a blind eye, because he definitely had sex with her because she got pregnant. It was either sex or maybe, you know, some exchange of semen or what. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, and to be honest, I don't want to know the ins and outs. But this Carol, we're going to have a look at what she's got to say in a moment. She believed absolutely in his innocence. Again, right up to the end, right up to the day. Now, history does not tell. Carol Boone, her name was, she has never spoken about it. And her daughter was called Rosa. She had a little girl with Ted, and her and her daughter used to visit him in prison. Now, what happened in the end when she found out that he actually was guilty of all these crimes that she was convinced he was innocent of, because he told her that he was innocent of? She was so in love with him, you know, she was just blind to the facts at the end of the day. And she had this little girl called Rosa. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when I showed you the video of Carol daRonch being abducted or attempted abduction, when he told her his name, he said he was a policeman. He said his name was Detective Roseland. And then when they had a daughter together, they called her Rosa. I wonder if there's any connection there, if you had a special feeling for that name. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just something that occurred to me. So, right, now what I'm going to do now then is show you a little video about Carol. Talked to his daughter and she said no, she finally wised up.
So there was no goodbye for Rosa.
Look at that. From Rosa to Daddy, I love you. You know, not knowing when she wrote that what a monster he was. There you go. Carol Boone died in a Washington State retirement home in 2018. 5 years ago, bless her. So he confessed to 30 murders. The FBI has officially identified 20. But they think there were lots more. Now, the thing that I find, let me just stop sharing for a moment. Am I still here? I've not been thrown off again. Yeah. I'm so twatty. Well, he was, wasn't he? I mean, he's a handsome, charming. I feel this real. I just feel he would definitely have sucked me in. There's no doubt about it. Because he just, maybe I've got that codependency thing, but I can easily see how women got sort of sucked in by him and his charming nature, and there's something about him. It's hard to explain, and he really liked. This is what's weird. He did say that he had two people inside him. He blamed it on like this devil person in him. And maybe it's true, because he could be very charming, very helpful. He was a good dad to Molly. He did have that side of him as well. You can't say he didn't. He did. But, basically he was nasty, but anyway, so what was I going to say then? So anyway, he was electrocuted. He was killed. Now, there's still loads of videos I'd like to show you. I just find him fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating to me, because I think of him being so charming. But there was Ted Bundy friend. There's what I wanted to look at his brother talking. Here it is. Hope that this is not going to. Anyway, I'll just play a little bit of it. So I just want, because these are the people we forget: the mum, the dad, the brother. I think he had other siblings as well, but they haven't spoken. These people. You'll see now what the brother says. They have fond memories of him.
Spend time.
No, because I think this is from the same documentary that I got binned off. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit, because it's really the bit just where his brother's talking.
Someone got it together. I'm going to follow what they say. It's like you can do no wrong. So
imagine, so this brother that you've adored and he's treated you brilliantly, been your big brother, like you've had great times with him, and suddenly you find out all this about him. Very difficult. Anyway, I'm going to come off that, because as I say, I don't want to get thrown off again, but just wanted to show you his brother. Now, what I would recommend to you, well, they're not as good looking, but don't forget, he's a lot older now. Like, we didn't see Ted at in his 60s or whatever. He might have not been as good looking then. Ted will always be the age he was. He didn't get old, did he? So, he just didn't. But it's very, well, something I find fascinating. I think that's why he has created so much interest, and his interest even now after all these years with Ted Bundy, because he is fascinating. I mean, he is, it's just, he just is. Now, what I would say to you is, if you want to know, because there's loads on Carol, I was so good to find this channel of Carol daRonch, the lady who survived him, who got away from him. And she must be still fascinated with him after all this time, because she's got this YouTube channel now, where she finds all these obscure clips and videos, etc. It's very interesting to see things that aren't not just the common, the things that are seen all the time. I'm going to show one more video, because Desi, I don't know why he did it. He said he had it was like an urge inside him. That's what he said. And then he blamed it the night before he died. He blamed it all on pornography. It was pornography. He found a pile of pornography, and it was like this sort of pornography of the time, if you like. There were like detective magazines and things where women would be tied up, etc. He blamed it on all sorts of things, but basically, you know, and Jackie, what you're saying, there's true. One policeman who did say, one jailer when he was arrested. Oh, because he also escaped twice from prison. That's something else to add to this story. They haven't even got time to go through all that. But I do mention that in the other video that's in the description box. He escaped twice from prison. Twice. Once he jumped out of the courtroom window when he asked the courtroom guard if he could make a phone call. And when the guard just left it, because he was a model prisoner, they never thought, he jumped out the window. He'd been practicing jumping off his bunk to strengthen his knees. He'd been planning it for ages. He'd been practicing jumping to strengthen his knees, and he jumped out the courtroom window and just legged it into the mountains. Anyway, in the end, he gave himself up because he was hungry, etc. And then he escaped again. He went through the roof of a prison and came out in a prison officer's room. I mean, you just couldn't make it up. There's so much to this story of Ted Bundy. But I was talking about something else. One prison guard said that he said to him one day, he said, "Look, why did you do it?" And he just turned to him and said, "Because I like doing it." He literally said that. So yes, he was a necrophiliac. He was a necrophiliac. Yeah. Just, you know, there are people that are evil, and I do think these people, they can't help it. I mean, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I feel sorry for them, but that's why I think they should be locked up forever. There's no rehabilitation for these people. They just can't help it. It's like an addiction. You can talk to them for 10 years and it won't ever make any difference. You won't get it out of them. It's in here. You know, it'll never go. It'll never go. That's my opinion anyway. Hi, Jim. You nearly missed it. You haven't. There is one more video that I want to show if I can find it. So not quite finished yet. Let me see. I've even forgotten what the video was now that I wanted to show, because the thing is, I get talking about other things, don't I? Let's have a look. Oh, let's have a look at Carol, his girlfriend, because we haven't looked much at her. Let's just have another little look at Carol, because we haven't looked much at her. I'd just like you to see her and what she was like.
Jury is completely unbiased, but I think overall the jury is much less biased than what we would have seen in Tallahassee, and much better than what we hoped for in Miami, and he's pleased. It's not the perfect jury, but he's pleased.
Ruth Hamilton in the glasses in the front row.
It's not the perfect jury, but he's pleased. Oh, lucky him. Anyway, there was another one as well that I wanted to show you. Done the brother. Done that. Oh, just got to find. What was the one I was saying that I'd like to show you? Carol, oh, this one. I love this. Now, when he got arrested the final time, so bearing in mind, he's escaped from prison twice. The second time he escaped from prison, he went and caused chaos on a college campus and murdered another couple of women and, assaulted, what do they call them, co-eds that were staying in this sorority or whatever they call it, like the student halls of residence, as we call them in the UK. So the second time that he escaped from prison, he went off and, went out with a bang, had one last go at sort of murdering a load of poor girls. And then he was finally caught again. And this time, I think he was caught like for some driving offence, like quite often happens in the end. And this sheriff who caught him, this is what happened when he was indicting him. And Bundy comes up in the lift, and this tells you everything you need to know about Ted Bundy and his, it's on there. Oh, good, cool. This tells you everything you need to know about him, I think. I could just say this sheriff is one of those, some of these American sheriffs that you see, like the one in the Rachel Marine case and that I'm always going on about, and other ones that I've seen. He's another one, just so calm. When you get one like that, you know that they're good and they're good. And he was determined to make sure that Ted Bundy never got out again. God, scary. I mean, I don't know who of you believe in, we've talked about like the good and evil. The devil is in this man now. When his eyes go like that, that's the devil looking out to me. Honest to God, that is absolutely terrifying. He's angry, he's so angry with this sheriff because he knows that he's met his match in this guy, and he's angry.
Karen Chandler and or Kathy Kleiner with the intent to commit the offense of battery therein in the course of committing such burglary. Said Theodore Robert Bundy did make an assault upon Karen Chandler and or Kathy Kleiner, contrary to section 81002 Florida statutes. Very good. And your grand jurors being present in said court further gives the court to be informed and understand that Theodore Robert Bundy on the 15th day of January 1978 in Leon County, Florida, did Bennett Bowman, contrary to section 78204 Florida statutes. And your grand jurors being present in said court further gives the court to be informed and understand that Theodore Robert Bundy on the 15th day of January 1978 in Leon County, Florida, did then and there unlawfully kill a human being, to wit, Lisa Levy, by strangling and or beating her.
Right, so here he says, is this my chance to talk to the press? Like he's a fucking film star or something. I mean, for fuck's sake, what is wrong with him?
8204 Florida statute.
I'll plead not guilty right now.
And your grand jurors being...
I'll plead not guilty right now. I mean, what? It's like it's some sort of, you can see, if you look around these people behind all these guys, especially this guy here, I don't know if he's a jailer or a prison officer or whatever, you look like they're looking at him like they just want to kill him. If they had their way, they would just take him away and beat him up or something, because they just all hate him. Just can see by the way their arms are folded. He's grandstanding. Like, he's the star of the show. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Chandler by beating her about the head and knowingly or intentionally causing great bodily harm.
I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because it goes through all the indictment. I'm just worried about getting thrown off, and I want you to see what Bundy does. So he goes through all the charges very calmly, and Bundy has to listen to him. It does. You can see he didn't want to listen to him, but he has to. So when he finally gets to the end of it, that's when Bundy,
Dignity of the state of Florida. That is the indictment handed down by the grand jury. This is the capias for your arrest for burglary of the dwelling, 2 counts, murder first degree, 2 counts, attempted murder first degree, 3 counts. I am commanded to keep you in safe custody and bring you before the spring term of the Circuit Court 1978 to for the pending court of this county for those charges that I just read to you in case number 78-670, State of Florida versus Theodore Robert Bundy.
Right, so now he has his say.
My chance.
Can I talk to the press? You know, like he's a film star or something.
Displayed the prisoner now. I think it's my Pardon me, which one?
I think that
Well, listen.
It's my turn now. But you know what I love? If you watch the guy, the sheriff, how calm he is. He doesn't rise to it. I mean, you know, you'd want to punch him in the face, really, wouldn't you? But he doesn't rise to it at all. I'm gagged, you're not. Well, that's because you're the fucking serial killer and he's the sheriff. That's what, you know, what a surprise. God, unbelievable.
if you will, reading him, if you will, reading his rights and upstairs, Jack. Thank you. Okay.
Sheriff, what kind of evidence was involved?
Outside.
We're
Going.
I love that guy. He's another one that I love. And actually, you can see him being interviewed now. He's on the internet being interviewed. I'm just trying to remember his name. I think it's Ken something. Nobody's mentioning his name. Oh, it's Ken Kircherai or something like that. But anyway, he's brilliant. And you can see his interviews on the internet now. You know, he's still alive and he is handsome as well. Hi, George. Yeah, he's so calm. I loved it, you know, and it's very well presented in the not the documentary, but in the made-for-TV film with Zac Efron. That scene is really well presented. Yeah, delusions of gratitude. No, you mean he thought, you know, he just thought he was it, didn't he? But anyway, so I would recommend, if you're interested, of course, in the Ted Bundy case or in true crime in general, to visit Carol daRonch's YouTube channel, because she doesn't only do videos on Ted Bundy. Most of them are about Ted. And as I say, she finds these obscure videos and she puts short. What's quite useful is they're just short clips. So you can look at them, you know, like not the whole 1 hour documentary or whatever. But she also does put things on about other serial killers, etc. So, you know, he's obviously, I think when you've escaped from a serial killer, I expect it's sort of, well, there are two ways that you're going to react to it, isn't there? There's going to be one way you never want to know anything about them or any other serial killer again, or you're going to be really interested in it, you know, because it's happened to you and that's your way of dealing with it. Everybody has their different ways of dealing with trauma. And one way is to totally blank it out, and the other way is to get involved in it and try and make a difference to other people, I suppose. But yeah, very, very interesting guy. Yeah. Hey, Jack, you're right. I do like shows. So I've got to think, you know, it's not like a uniform. I do like a bit of a uniform. I must admit that I do. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that video. Sorry it got interrupted halfway through, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, I hope it didn't stop your enjoyment of it. I'll have to go now and trim out that other bit from the other half of the video so that YouTube, I don't know, I can leave it on, but then I don't get monetized. So, you know, YouTube pick you up if you don't know. There's so many words you can't say, or you can't swear, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or it could be copyright. You just don't know. But anyway. No, some uniforms don't do it. Not Milkman, really. Milkman, no, doesn't quite. doesn't quite do it for me. Not Milkman, but yes. Now, looking at some of your. I have got a wee thing for the police. I have. You want to see the Spanish police? Oh my God, the uniforms. Anyway, there you go. It's the uniforms and the boots, isn't it? Rose, I have done a video on Oscar Pistorius. I can see if I can fish it out. It's quite a long time ago, but I did do a video on him. Where will I find it? Oh, I should be able to just search for it, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should be able to get. Oh. Now, it's a little while ago, but I did do a video on Oscar Pistorius. I think. So, Rose Petal, that is the link that would take you to. Got to turn the video off now. I can hear it in the background. You're obsessed with him. What? Because he's a twat, I hope, not because you like him. Oh, he's there. You know, that's what put me right off Mark Williams, Thomas or Thomas Williams or whatever his name is, because when he said he doesn't think he's guilty, I just don't like him anymore since he said that, because I feel like because he spent a lot of time with him, because he's writing a book about him, so there's money in it for him. And the other thing, we see, South Yorkshire, I'm sure, is a beautiful place. Well, Rose, you might not like my video then, because I don't think it was an accident. I think he murdered her in a fit of rage. He's a horrible, entitled man, in my idea. Oh, thank you, Saskia. Oh, that'd be lovely to see you on the members live on Tuesday. We've got a right little gang now. Right, talking of which, so sorry if I've disappointed you, Rose Petal, because I think he's guilty, but that's just the way I feel. But oh, that's right. The other thing that annoyed me about Mark Williams, whatever, when Dodi Fayed's dad died, not yesterday, the day before, I think it was, Mohammed Fayed, Mark Williams Thomas put a tweet out saying, oh, wait till you see the details of my investigation into him. There's a lot of things going to come out about him now he's dead. Made some sort of comment like that, and I commented on it. That's another Twitter account that I've got for my Spanish classes. I'll probably get thrown off that one now as well. And I just said, well, you know, don't be saying things about people when they die. If you think somebody's done something bad, say it when they're alive and they've got a chance to defend themselves. So he's going to come out now and start saying horrible things about, I mean, maybe Mohammed Fayed was a bad man. I don't know. What I'm saying is that you wait till someone dies. It's a cowardly way to be. If you know that somebody's done something bad, he should either, if he doesn't want to say it while he's alive because he's scared of being sued or whatever, don't fucking say it when they're dead, because that's not right, because then they can't say anything, you know, they can't come back. Exactly. Why do they wait until they're dead? Oh, thank you, Saskia. Yeah, because this membership gifting, which is not, it'd be nice to do, but you just don't know. You can't judge. You can't decide who it goes to. So anyway. Oh, did he write? I mean, I just feel for him because of his son. He lost his son. It doesn't matter how many millions he's got. He's still a human being who lost his son in a very weird circumstances. Okay, so the next live will be, unless something dramatic happens in the meantime, the next live will be the members live on Tuesday night. I've been writing today. Those of you know that this book, so I have started. It's not quite finished. The first installment. I mean, honestly, this could go on for years. I hope you realise this. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do each week. I'm hoping to put one bit of it out each week, and then and it'll develop as it goes. But I did get a bit of the muse today because I thought, oh my God. Because you sort of, when you're writing something, it's hard to explain. It's like you can be sat there and you're like, oh my God, nothing's happening. And then suddenly something comes and you get the muse and you start writing. And then I didn't want to stop writing then. But, but I had to stop writing because then I had to prepare this live, which is in 2 parts, but never mind. So if you want to share emails, email me at Vicky Marie. Oh, hi Wendy. Email me at vickymariechats@gmail.com, and I will always, if you give me your permission to, tell me who you want to pass it on to, I will. Wendy's still on nana duties. Yeah, the thing about Ted is he, you can't deny he's interesting, and he has taught the police in general, and as I said, like the FBI, he's taught them a lot about serial killers and about profiling and things like that. It helped in a small way to catch the Green River killer, so we've just got to always think of the positivity. So good night, everybody. Thank you again for being here with me. Thank you for being my members. So many members on here tonight. It's great. Thank you so much. I'll see you very soon. Remember to always live and love very carefully. You've got to beware of handsome, charming devils like Ted Bundy in police uniforms, especially. He is a murdering evil git, but there is we can't change that. We can't change that. We can't take him away. He existed for whatever reason. Anyway, going into it all again, but and his mother, I presume his mum's dead now, but I feel for her. I feel for his family, his brother. I know, obviously, all his victims and their families, all those. Do you know what's amazing? Because of one man, and not only him, but other serial killers, etc. One person causes all that upset in everybody else's life. It's incredible. They really will pay for it. Okay, thank you all, and thanks for being so nice to each other and chatting to each other, etc. And I'll see you really soon. Look after yourself because you are the most important person. And until I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you. Thank you, David.